All right. Okay. Again, welcome, you guys. I am so excited. I love doing these calls where I get to see all of your awesome faces. And I am super, super thankful to Jaws for doing this for us. You guys, she is absolutely killing it. When I actually talked to her today earlier. Well, I chat with her almost every day, but I was like, I got off the phone with you and I said something to Sav and Robin. I'm like, I don't know how she does everything in a day. She's freaking amazing. She makes me think like, holy shit, I need to go do this and that. And like, I got to keep up with her. Like, we've been kind of, I don't know, I would say maybe kind of accountability partners lately, just because we've been kind of, not only, is she checking in with me, but little does she know that when she's doing that, she's totally pushing me to keep going. So thank you for that, because you've been such an inspiration, and I know you're inspiring others. And you guys, that restore is making me hot because I heated it up. But she has signed up 17 people just this year, you guys. So,
Actually 18,
oh my
but
gosh, 18.
nobody's
See?
counting.
She got one today or yesterday, and
Yeah,
I haven't even had a chance to look. So
today,
that is,
actually like 2 hours ago, but
oh, see, so amazing. So 18 people, you guys. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to her. And the first thing I kind of want her to chat with us about is share a little bit about of her background and kind of talk about Jaws to start out with, like what shifted your mindset to, I mean, because even when I talk to you, it's like, it's not what if, it is happening. Like your mindset
Mhm.
has totally changed. So I'm going to turn it over to you. So thank you so much again.
Yeah, okay. First off, I want to take a group picture before I start. So if you don't have your camera on, if you can, yeah, fix your hair, do whatever you got to do. Um, that's perfect. But if you can turn your camera on, I am just going to take like a screenshot of the screen, and then you can turn your camera off after, and I'll explain. Okay, I'm going to give it like 10 seconds.
You act like we know how to do this.
We're so close. All right, ready? Emily? Nope. Yep. Okay. Three, two, smile. Okay. Um, yes. So I am super excited that Megan asked me to do this. I am a teacher at heart, so I, like a teacher, have a lesson planned. And I'm going to go straight down because if I don't, I'm going to get off topic. I told Megan I'm going to stick to 15 minutes. And if you know me, it probably will be longer than that. So, but I want to start. Everybody put up 5 fingers. And we're going to play put a finger down. So if you've never played that game in college, it was like put a finger down if you've ever, ran naked in the street. And once you get to zero, you have to take a shot or something. We're not doing that. But it's put a finger down self-worth edition. So put a finger down if you've ever felt unworthy or that you didn't matter. Put a finger down if you've ever felt defeated. This like makes me want to cry. I didn't think this was going to do it, and I'm just starting. Put a finger down if you've ever heard no and took it personally. Put a finger down if, oh, put a finger down if you've been in a position to not be able to pay for something because you were short on cash. Put a finger down if you've ever looked in your, guys, I'm not nervous at all. Put a finger down if you've ever looked at yourself in the mirror and picked apart the way that you looked. And there's more. But if there's anybody left, put a finger down if you ever felt like throwing in the towel and just saying, fuck it.
You've never not had money for something?
Now,
I don't remember.
put your hand back up
When I was younger, I guess.
and we're going to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Put a finger down if someone in Zaya has ever made you feel worthy or like you mattered. Put a finger down if you felt the rush of winning in your Zaya business. Put a finger down if you heard no and remembered that it wasn't about you, but about them. Put a finger down if you've earned, there we go again. If you've earned extra cash through Zaya that you could use to pay for something that maybe you couldn't have paid for otherwise. Put a finger down if you've looked at yourself in the mirror and loved the way you looked in your Zaya. And again, if there's someone left, put a finger down if you've ever felt the love and care of the community in Zaya that helped you pull up when you were down. If you believe that you are capable of achieving amazing things in this space. So, with that in mind, we've all felt all of these great things. Why would we not want to share this with other people? And that is my constant thought. All of these great things and all of you here, we wouldn't be here together if it weren't for Zaya. So keep that in mind when you're inviting people. So, okay, I'm going to keep going through my lesson plan here. I'm just going to start off by saying that anything that I tell you tonight is not going to be mind-blowing or earth-shattering. It's just some things that maybe I've thought of that you haven't quite thought of yet. So I am going to share them, take what you will, and throw away the rest. So I'm going to start off just kind of telling you a little bit about how my mindset started growing up and how I've changed it. So imposter syndrome is real, you guys. Like when Megan asked me if I wanted to do this training, I was like, huh, what? Why me? Because that's just what our minds immediately go to. Like, I'm not worthy of that. There's somebody doing better than me. Well, hell yeah, there is, but they're not here, right? They're not doing this training. So I have to try constantly to remind myself there's a reason that I am where I am. There's a reason that you are where you are. I was raised that you have to fit the mold. You have to be what other people want you to be. You have to fill this box, specifically stay in this box, or you're not good enough. And if you go out of the box, you're too much. And if you talk too loud, you're annoying. And if you are crying, you're being dramatic. So many times growing up, I was physically put back in my place. If I was not what I needed to be for my mom, I was put back in my place physically. And so as I grew up, if I tried to be loud about things or I tried to be excited about things, I was always pushed right back down so that I was being who I was supposed to be. And I grew up with that mindset of, if I'm not doing what other people want me to do, I'm not worthy. If I'm not quiet enough, people are going to think I'm annoying. Or if I'm crying, people are going to think I'm weak, all of those things. And so direct sales, honestly, like as an adult, gave me that outlet to do the things that I wanted to do. And once I found Zaya, I am not kidding, and I'm not just saying this to be biased. Zaya has been way different community-wise than any other company that I have ever been with. So what I found is that in Zaya, I'm free to be me. I can act goofy. I can be loud. I can cheer people on that I've never met in real life, and people let me be me. And why would I not want to share that with the world? Because if I know how that has changed me and what it's done for me, I want everyone else to feel that. You guys, I did the fucking splits in front of the whole group when we were taking a team picture. And I saw this picture and I'm like, oh dear God, other people have this on their phone now. Like, what was I thinking? And when I looked at this picture, I'm not kidding, I zoomed in and the expressions that I saw on people's faces, it was so like, they love me for me. It wasn't, and literally not one person in the picture was looking at me like, what the hell are you doing? It was literally like, oh my gosh, look at her. I didn't feel embarrassed to be me. I was being goofy and people were okay with that. I've been able to see a true change in myself. And while the imposter syndrome is still there, and it always will be, because that's just part of being human, I've done a pretty good job of telling her to shut up, sit down, and hang on for the ride. So you have to believe that what you're doing is great, and you have to believe so deeply in what you're doing that your future self doesn't even believe it as much as you do right now. So you truly never know what someone's past is or what they're going through right now or what their future looks like. So our mission should always be to lift people up, bring them along, and keep them moving right alongside us. So with that, I'm going to keep moving, but that's just kind of a little brief introduction on how my mindset has changed. And I'll give you some insight on how that has changed now that I've kind of talked about what it's looked like. So with building a team, I've had the honor to watch people evolve from their previous version into this new and better self. I've seen people make money to support their bills, to do fun things with their kids, to travel, all of those things that you don't realize. Life is freaking expensive. And being able to help people find what they need and find that extra money, especially this month, you guys, I'm not going to get off track. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but it's crazy. Some of my best friends that I have in my life right now are because of Zaya. I have people on my team that maybe we had talked here and there, but since joining Zaya, we have gotten so close. You guys, I'm gonna just call out Crystal for a second. So last year at Summit, I remember, or mini Summit, I remember seeing Crystal in the room when we were doing our photo shoot, and I went up to talk to Natalie, and I remember seeing Crystal, and I'm like, oh, she's way older than me. She's gonna be so annoyed by me. And that was my initial thought, and I don't know why, but I'm just like, she's not gonna like me. And we ended up getting so close after that that I had a hysterectomy in December, and she surprised me and flew here, kept a secret with my husband, and flew here to help take care of my family. And I wouldn't have had that if it weren't for Zaya. You know, things like that, you just don't imagine what your life is going to be when you take the chance and do something in this business. So I'm going to keep moving before I cry, because that, to me, like that kind of connection, and I've made those connections with so many people in this business, but that's just one example. And think about all the people that we meet and all the lives that we touch in this company and in this community, that it's selfish to not tell someone. I think it's selfish if I don't tell someone that I bought a dress from a store that has pockets. Like, why would I not want to tell them about this? So people can easily say, you know, so and so wouldn't be interested, or so and so has this going on, or oh my gosh, there's no way that so and so would ever want to sell clothes. You are then making that decision for that person, and that's not fair to them either. So the person that you think would never do this, let's say you don't ask her, 6 months down the road on Facebook, all of a sudden you see Aubrey has joined Scentsy, and she's telling people about her launch party. And no offense to Scentsy, Scentsy's great, but she's now in this other company because you didn't ask, you didn't take that moment to try and introduce her to the product or show her how she could change her future. Somebody else did. And that is what happens. It's always going to happen. If you don't ask, someone else is going to ask, whether it's someone else in Zaya, someone in a different company, to someone from another country selling skincare. It's going to happen. So you have to remember that we know our products are legit, right? We know that what we sell or what we share with people absolutely are the best quality. We know that our community is the best community out there in any direct sales company. And so when you are sharing this product or you're sharing the opportunity with people, you're not just sharing like, hey, you could join my team and you could do all this. You're sharing the community, you're sharing the clothing, you're sharing the incentives, and obviously you're sharing the money. So when you automatically say no to other people, you're throwing them in a pile for other people to dig into later, is kind of how I look at it. So you never know which people need this. You never know whose lives could absolutely change if you took just 1 minute to get out of your comfort zone and ask them if they want to join your business. I don't even know. I know I have this in my notes somewhere, but I want to say it now or I'm going to forget. When you ask someone to join your business, the biggest piece of advice that I could give you when it comes to mindset is, this is something I've always heard, and this is so weird, but bear with me. Before you answer the phone, you should always smile. It sounds weird, but trust me. If you smile before you answer the phone, you sound happier. It's proven. It just happens. So, okay. Hi, how are you? Right? Other than like, hey, what's up? You just sound happier. It's similar to when you look at someone and you think, how could Zaya impact them? How could this change their future? How could, an extra $200 help them? When you look at this opportunity as something that could help that person, take yourself out of it, look at them. How could this help them? And now you're in the mindset of, I want to help you instead of, okay, I need 3 people to join my team in order to hit this incentive. And if I don't have these 3 people, I am not going to hit this incentive. It should never be about you because this business, your business, is for you. Now, if Cody joined Zaya and he did it just because of me, because I wanted him in this business, he's going to fizzle out. He's not going to stick with it. He's not going to do what he needs to do to be successful because in the beginning, I had to convince him to join. I had to tell him all the reasons why he should join and why it's going to be great and this and that, rather than allowing him to feel that feeling of, this is going to be great for me because A, B, C, D, then he's going to continue to build on that. So remember to always put them first. It's always about them first, not about you. Okay, so who to ask? I have a clock right here, by the way. I like keep looking like, okay, keep moving. My
It's just,
number
like,
one
on the side,
way that I
so
get
she stays
people
on track.
or I get information or whatever that I can ask people to join me is honestly, I know we say party, party, party. It really is through parties, but how I set them up. So when I set up my parties, I always if I'm going too fast at any point, you guys also tell me to just slow down because I just go, go, go. I set up my parties so that I have membership questions, and there's 3 membership questions that I always put. So if you're taking notes, this might be something you want to write down. The first question I ask is always about their connection with Zaya. So I ask, how familiar are you with Zaya? So either they're going to say they've never heard of it. Awesome. I get to take your Zaya virginity and I can't wait. 2, they've heard of it, but they've never tried it. Okay, cool. Same, right? I get to tell them all about it and hopefully be the first person they buy from and make a difference so they don't want to go to anybody else. They might say that they've tried it, they can't wait to get more. Or the last one is they're Zaya obsessed. Anytime someone says that they're Zaya obsessed, I always ask them, why are you not a rep? Every single time. If they're Zaya obsessed, that is your best potential rep. If they love it, they're already 2 steps ahead of, somebody who's never tried it. The next question that I ask is, would you be interested in hosting your own party? Either they're going to say, yes, I love rewards, possibly send me information, ask me again in a few months, or no, I'm just here to shop. With that, if they say, no, I'm just here to shop, hell yeah, I'm right on you. Like, I'm going to sell you all the Zaya you want. The third question that I ask is the one that I always pay attention to is, which information are you interested in learning about? Customer information. You just gave me permission to sell to you. Rep information. Duh. I will tell you all about it. Or they can choose both. I have had a lot of success with this because, and I had someone who just joined my team last month told me, I would have never even thought about it. But when I was answering the questions, I was like, oh, yeah, I think I do want to know what it's like to be a rep. And I had never met her. I've never met her in person. Honestly, half the people on my team I've never met in person. And I've met them through the internet, literally. So with that, those questions that I ask, I also always have a spreadsheet and I'll make a copy. I'm going to make a note right now so don't forget. I'll make a copy of the spreadsheet that I use and then I'll share it so that it'll just prompt you to make your own copy so you can see kind of how I keep track during parties. And then, I can follow up with people however long after and just kind of see if that's something that they're interested in doing. Okay. I got to keep going. Stop talking. Some people say they're uncomfortable asking. This is like the easiest way for you to get people to answer that question without having to ask them. Literally ask them, are you interested in rep information or customer information? It's right there. This also gives you another way to gather their information. So then you don't have to ask. You just automatically have it right there. Next, with the wellness line, you can use, so like I have a form that I created when we first found out that the wellness line was coming. People could fill it out, tell me which information that they are interested in trying, or which information they're interested in getting, whether it's Nourish, the 4. And so then you can go back if you've done that already. You don't, even if you haven't done it already, you can still do it. Go back and every single person who filled it out, send them a message. Hey, Jackie, I see that you're interested in learning more about Nourish, Rise, and Restore. Did you know that right now with our $99 build your own bundle, you can include Nourish and Restore to your bundle, and you get an additional bra with it or whatever, and you still only have to pay $99. Then, leave it at that as you're talking. Later on, you can tell her like, hey, you can continue to get a discount on this, or do the subscribe and save, and you're going to get that commission back. The other thing that I really wanted to talk about that I want to make sure to get through before time's up is using the incentives this month to your benefit. So I had one of my friends joined today, and we have been talking for the last probably 2 months, where we have been, and I'm sure she's going to be fine with me sharing this. We've been talking about her joining, and then it just didn't work that day. And then, like a few days here, a few days there. And finally, we were talking today, and I told her, like, listen, if we start your launch party now and we get you to $1,000 in orders in the first, week of you joining, you're going to get $75 in a bonus just for having $1,000 by the 10th. Then at the end of the month, let's say you sit there and you have no other sales, you're going to get another $75 bonus for having $1,000 in sales this month. And then for having $1,000 in sales, you're going to make $560 commission. You guys, that is $710 on $1,000 in sales. That's insane. That's 71% commission. And yeah, if I could join right now and I could host the launch party right now, I'd do it. And that's literally where I'm coming from. Like, I know everyone on this planet right now could use more money unless they're Elon Musk. Every single person could use more money because everything's so expensive. So I always want to come off to people that I truly am trying to help them. It is so easy to sound desperate, you guys. When you are working towards a goal, you don't realize it, but you sound desperate when you are reaching and reaching and reaching, like, please join my team, please join my team, please join my team. Don't do that. Don't make it about you. Look at the ways that this business can bless other people. How can they benefit from this? So one thing that I will say is in today's world, everything is on social media. 90% of the world uses Facebook unless they're younger, then they probably use Instagram or TikTok or whatever. But it's so easy to look at somebody's Instagram, figure out who they are. Literally take 30 seconds. Go look. Are they a mom? Are they active? Are they into eating healthy? What about them can you connect with? And then send that when you message them. Hey, Laura, I noticed that you are super into active, being active. I think that this would connect with you really well and you would thrive in this community. Have you ever thought about adding something to your life to bring in more income? I always recommend when you message someone, when you're asking them about joining you or whatever, always end with a question. Don't say, let me know what you think. Or how does that sound? Say, what does your schedule look like tomorrow? Can we set up a time to chat? Or like I said, have you ever considered blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm like seriously going on and on. I'm just going to look real quick to see if there's anything that I have to tell you. Obviously, hostesses ask them before, during, or after. If they say no and they continue to say no, do not take it personally. Ask them, hey, Megan, no problem. I so appreciate you being a hostess for me, but I am curious, do you know anyone who could benefit from this or that you feel would be really good at this, that maybe I could send them some information and leave it at that?
Doesn't it? I guess I'll get used to it. I'm just so.
Yeah, it does, Sav. Okay. So I just want to end with this. I'm going to end. Okay. I'm going to be done talking, but there's so much that I could share. There's so much. Just remember that imposter syndrome is real. Every single person struggles with imposter syndrome, whether it's in Zaya or in life. There is somewhere in your life that you feel you are not good enough, and you are. If you're here for a reason. The fact that you took time to be on this call says that you want to make a difference in your business. So, what you need to do, sit where you are, put both feet on the ground, and imagine, whatever your goal is, whatever your big goal is. My big goal is to have $1 trillion. Then I'm being sarcastic, obviously, but whatever your goal is, I want you to imagine it, like picture that picture in your head. You are in this place, what does that look like? Feel what that feels like, and then take the steps to get there. So whether you do that now or later, at some point tonight, sit and really think about what your big goal is and feel what it feels like to be there and really feel it. Because once you can do that, you'll believe that it'll happen. And then you can take those steps to make it happen. That's it. That's all I got.
So good. Oh my gosh. First of all, the way you started that, I was like, oh God, in tears. Like that was so perfect. You had so many good tips, like so many things, like the chat, like Cody, thank you for posting all that over there in the chat. That was so helpful. But the one thing that I feel like I just want to reiterate, like Jaws, that was so good. Like no wonder people sign up under you. Like you can just feel the love that you have for this community and this company, and what you're doing. You definitely have a selfless heart. That's shown by all the Zaya world that know you, and they're not even on your team. And I love that. So you kept saying it, like community and like people need. I always say that, like, I love that you mentioned don't take the decision away from somebody else because that's not fair to them. Everybody joins Zaya for a totally different reason, whether that's financially, emotionally, or mentally. We all, or physically, I mean, sometimes Zaya helps people get in better shape, feel better about themselves. And I feel like imagine yourself if whoever shared it with you or the reason that you joined Zaya, if you didn't do that, if you didn't take that step. Like I honestly cannot imagine my life without Zaya. Not, yes, the income has blessed us, but like this past weekend and every time I'm with my Zaya family, it is like touches my heart deeper and deeper and deeper because this community is so freaking incredible. And what it does for people on so many different levels is amazing. And that is what we need to share. And that is so true. Like just share it with everyone because again, you have no idea how this is going to bless someone. And so I love that that was your main point because I feel that to my soul about this company. So I love that. But I'm going to open it up really quick, you guys. Does anyone have any questions for Jaws that you can think of that you want to ask? Feel free to unmute and ask away. I do know that there was one question that if you could, the questions that you asked in your party before you start your party, if you could like post those to our team page and share those. Okay. Anyone else? Let's see.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Because this is the biggest one we probably always get is I'm too busy. What is your best comeback for that one?
Ask Megan how I feel about this.
She
I
hates the word
absolutely
busy.
hate the word busy. I hate it because yes, people say like, oh, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. Okay, to an extent, yes. Some people have big things going on that make them busy, right? But you choose what busy feels like to you. To me, busy is I am able to get up. I am able to work out. I'm able to spend time with my kids. And then I'm able to take time to work my business. If you can find 10 minutes to sit and scroll on Facebook, you can take 10 minutes to sit and intentionally scroll on Facebook. So that in itself is something that we do in our business, right? So when you're scrolling, instead of just scrolling, you're commenting to help the algorithm be in your favor. So I always tell people if you can sit and scroll on your phone, you can sit and intentionally scroll, or you can take 30 minutes on a Sunday and schedule all of your posts out for the week and you're done. And then all you have to do is do your intentional scrolling throughout the week, and interact on Facebook, and you're getting paid for it.
Great answer. Yeah. Thank you.
And I think she brought up a good point. I think sometimes we're scared to ask because we're scared of the no. We're scared what they're going to think if we ask them. you have to take that, like their decision completely out of it. Like you have to detach yourself from the decision is what I always say, because it really truly has nothing to do about, it's nothing to do about you, and it's all about them. And I truly believe it's about timing. And if the time is right, someone is going to say no. Cody could say no, and then 2 months from now, he could say yes. Like it's all about timing in your life. And if you don't ask, they can't say yes. And so I think about that call with those of you that didn't listen to the corporate call with Zach and Cindy Lou. Like, what if she would have said no? How different her life would be today, and how Zaya is literally saving her life. Think about that. Think if you shared it with someone that it could literally save their life. Like those things are what keep me asking, because truly, I don't care if they say no. I don't care if they say no, because it's not about me. And so keep asking. I challenge you guys to get off this and take what Joz said and just ask and keep sharing and keep sharing. Yeah. Anyone?
I added the link here, Sherry, in the chat to the sample party that I have set up. So if you go to that sample party, the questions are set up there exactly the way that I put them in parties. I put all of the information in the description the way that I do in my parties, even in launch parties. So you can go there and find all of that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else have any questions? Don't hesitate. Now is the time to ask away. Anyone? If not, you guys, thank you all so much for jumping on. I'm going to share this recording as soon as I get off. But Jocelyn, seriously, thank you so much. You're seriously a bright light in this community, and we all appreciate you so much. You're willing to share anything, and I think that's so important as well. So appreciate you. And thank you all so much for jumping on. It's good to see you all. If we don't have any other questions, everyone have a great night. All right, we'll chat later, guys. Thank you. Thanks, Joz.